Hello everybody, it's me Angela Martin and welcome to another Quickcast. Now one of the major new features of macOS 10.15 Catalina is found within the accessibility preferences. Now the next few episodes we will look into these features starting with the hover text and zoom displays. So hover text is extremely useful for people with low vision as you can set your mouse pointer to preview a larger text size of any text. Now to set up our hover text, we will go to our system preferences. We'll click on our accessibility preferences. We're now within our zoom setting, we will enable our hover text. Now below our setting it says press the command key to display a larger text view of the item under the pointer. Now this means if I go into any element that contains text, will show me a larger text view by just holding down the command key. So even within this window, if I hold down the command key, it shows me the larger text view of buttons, labels, drop-down menus. So all elements that contains text will then show me the larger text view. Now I can achieve this in any application. So if I should open my mail application as a quick example, and I hold down my command key once again, it will show me the text size of anything that contains text. Now, if I don't want to do this on command and I want to do it whenever I move my mouse pointer onto any piece of text, I just press my command key 3 times and this will lock my hover text, and this means wherever I move my mouse pointer, it will show me the larger text. Now, if I don't want to do this and I only want to do it on command, then all I do is press my command key 3 times. And now I've got my hover text unlocked again, and now I can only show my larger text view if I hold down my command key and I move to any piece of text. When it comes to word processing applications, it works slightly differently. So in my case, I'm just going to open this Pages document and I hold down the command key. Then it will show me the larger text view from the first paragraph, and within my larger text view I can just scroll throughout the document to a certain point in the document. It will show me the larger text view. However, if I want to be specific in terms of showing the larger text view, I can highlight that piece of text and it will automatically show me the larger text view from that point. However, within my larger text view, I can go back and I can go forward as well. If I want to get out of my larger text view, I just press the escape key. And that is the hover text feature within macOS 10.15 Catalina. Another macOS 10.15 Catalina feature is choosing a zoom display. Now generally you can set up zoom by just going to your system preferences and you click on your accessibility preferences and then you select your zoom setting. You will notice that's in the same places where you will enable your hover text. Now here we are able to switch to different zoom styles. If I should now switch from my full screen zoom to say split screen, and I will for this use my gesture keys, which means if I should hold down my control key on my keyboard and I should scroll with 2 fingers on my trackpad or 1 finger up on my mouse, the zoom display will be shown at the top side of my screen. And if I should zoom out to get to the normal state of my screen, I will just hold down the control key again and I will scroll down 2 fingers on my trackpad or 1 finger down on my mouse, which will then bring me back to the normal state. Now I can also change it to my picture in picture. Now I can use the same gesture, hold down my control key and scroll 2 fingers up on my trackpad or 1 finger up on my mouse, and this will then zoom to a picture in picture which is linked with my mouse pointer. So wherever I move my mouse pointer, so will the zoom window move as well. And if I then hold down control key again and scroll 2 fingers downwards or 1 finger downwards on my mouse, it will then return to the normal state. Now if I should go to full screen, then it will zoom into where my mouse pointer is. So if I keep my mouse pointer, say, on the search bar on my window, and I hold down the control key and use the same action as I did with my two previous zoom styles, then it will zoom to where my mouse pointer is, which is on the search bar. Now you would have noticed that there's also a button that appears next to the zoom styles full screen drop down menu, which is the choose display. So now if I should click on choose display, it will then give me the two screens showing me my two displays. And as you can see, my second display is shown as a picture-in-picture format on the right hand side of my screen. Now at the moment, my zoom display setting is set to all, which means if I should zoom in, it will zoom in on both my first as well as my second display. Now I can change this to only zoom in into either or of the displays that I have by just going to the drop down menu and changing it to either my built-in display or my Hisense display, which is my second display. And what we would have noticed is that there's a nice little guide to show you which display that you're about to select with a red frame. So now in my case, I'm going to select my Hisense as my zoom display. And now if I should zoom in again, I would notice that only my Hisense display zooms in. Now this setting is extremely useful, especially when I'm doing presentations where I have my primary display set up to view my presenter notes and my secondary display set up to view my slideshow. Now if I want to zoom in into my secondary display, which has my slideshow, I won't affect my primary display, which is showing my presenter notes. However, there is one setting change that takes place. You see, when we switch over to our zoom displays, which I've done now, my arrangement button display configuration falls away. So in other words, if I should now go back to my display preferences, we would notice that there is no display arrangement button as it fell away when we switched our zoom displays. However, to bring it back again, we go to our accessibility preferences once again, and we go to choose display and we change it back to all. Click on OK. Now we go back to our display preferences. We would now see that the arrangement button is back again. So now it's good to know that if we ever in a situation where we don't have our arrangement button, to double check our zoom display setting first. So guys, that's the end of this episode. And guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel as yet, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell to receive an alert when we upload any new content. And that's me, Angelo Martin, and as usual guys, stay safe out there and sharp sharp.